Hello everybody, it's April the 22nd, 2020. Thought I would do a garden tour this morning, kind of let everybody see what we got going on here on the homestead. In our east garden, we're just starting to see some stuff coming up pretty good. In the middle there, we've got our onions. Next to the onions is a row of bell peppers. Here's a row of cucumbers here. Cucumbers here on the left side of the trellis were grown in my greenhouse. And then we did a double row, and the ones on the right side, as you can kind of see up in there, we planted by seed, and they're just starting to come up. And doing it that way kind of guarantees me a little bit of success here. Sometimes the ones I bring out of the greenhouse, if we have a late frost or something like that, or some cool weather, I may not have success with those. And in this middle row right here, I've got okra just starting to come up. Greenhouse is fairly empty now. Last week this thing was packed full of plants, and we had a kind of a late frost scare, and real hesitant to put stuff out, but last week, lots of warm weather, we got a lot of good stuff out. Some of you guys that have followed us for a while would know that we're in the antique business, and we sell out of a store here in our hometown. And we had a big plan this year, and we've done this in the past, but this year we went gung-ho, and we were going to sell tomatoes and peppers and flowers, all kinds of goodies in the storefront here. And of course now our store has been closed for the last month, and I had a lot of tomatoes to get rid of. So what we did is we went around and we planted tomatoes in just about every corner of our property, as well as peppers. We've got them everywhere. Here's some back in this corner. There's some peppers back over in the far corner there. Here's some tomatoes we planted here. And here's the peppers I was telling you about. It's a pot of onions that we had left over when we planted the onions in the garden. We'll just use these more as a salad onion. There's a couple of the squash plants that we grew in our greenhouse. The ones in the garden haven't come up yet. There's a couple more peppers here that we grew in a wicking tub. Here's another area of our property here that we opened up. This is next to our grapes. Here's some more tomatoes in our grow tubs. Here's one of the collards buckets that we had growing in our greenhouse all winter. We cut off this thing multiple times, and I'm going to let this go to seed now and collect the seeds off of it. Here's a few more pots that have some peppers and some bush cucumbers in them. Some more peppers and squash. This is Baby. That's what our kids call her. And she's got a job on the homestead. She keeps the area between the grapevines cleaned out for us. She does a really good job. Planted these grapes probably, I'm gonna guess, probably about 7-8 years ago, and they do really good every year. The first year I did it, I had to get in there and mow and weed eat between these things, and I thought I got to come up with a better plan, and this was my solution. And there's a cluster of grapes there. Here's a zucchini that we grew in the greenhouse over the winter time. Did okay in there. It had its issues, but pretty much we just went through and cut most of the plant back, and then I also planted seed in here in case this thing doesn't make it. Here's some aloe vera here. This is what we call our middle garden. We've got 4 rows of green beans. I've got to the left there in the front, I've got some more tomato plants. Here to the back, I've got corn. It's just starting to come up. Here's our new chicken coop here. This was our old greenhouse before we built the hoop house 4 or 5 years ago. Morning, ladies. Got some more tomatoes here in some buckets. This is our west garden. Here I've got cantaloupes, watermelons, and okra planted over here. This is on the west side of our property and is the hottest garden I've got. Right here I've got a nectarine and a peach tree. Here we've got a couple of beds and some pots planted. Got various herbs and got a few tomatoes there in the middle and some radishes planted in with them as well. We've got pole beans coming up in those 3 beds. On the side of my kids' playhouse we have strawberry buckets. This trough here we've got several strawberries, a pepper, and we've got herb seeds planted. Each side of it here I've got some more of those bush cucumbers, and then we've got some radishes coming up there in the middle. This is my wood shop, man cave. Do a lot of projects in here, part of our business. Got a couple of workshop tours on my channel that you might want to check out. This is where we grow a lot of herbs. The big plant right in the front to the left is comfrey. And there's our blackberries. And the blackberries are loaded this year. Well, that wind's sure picking up. I guess I'm going to cut it off here. We've got a chance of severe weather coming in around noon today. Until next time, you guys have a great day. See y'all later.